Well, Justin Trudeau's Liberal government has released its first budget, and there were very few surprises in this document. Everything was pretty well telegraphed ahead of time. The deficit, as expected, came in very close to $30 billion at $29.4 billion this year, falling ever so slightly to $29 billion next year, and then steadily declining to $14.3 billion by 2020 to 21. One surprise is that there is really no timeline given for getting back to balanced books. The government says it will reduce the debt to GDP ratio, but that's all we know. There are three main focuses to this budget, the first being the middle class. Arguably, this is what the government wants everyone to focus on. In fact, the press release announcing the budget document says it restores hope for the middle class. One of the main ways they plan to do this is through a new Canada Child benefit, which will cost the government $23 billion this year. They're also making some changes to employment insurance, making it easier for people to access the benefits and for people in hard-hit economic regions like Alberta to stay on EI longer than they currently can. Secondly, infrastructure, not surprisingly, a big focus of this document. $11.9 billion over 5 years is how much the government wants to spend in three main areas, public transit being a major one, green projects, and finally social infrastructure like affordable housing. Lastly, there's a lot of money for Indigenous peoples. The government says it will spend $8.4 billion over 5 years on education, housing, and water to improve socioeconomic conditions both on and off reserves. For the Financial Post, I'm Chris.